Good afternoon. Today is the day after the 20th anniversary of this 9/11, as it has come to be called, disaster in the United States, when the two towers were attacked and so many people died. Well, it so happens that on that date I was myself flying back to Auroville from precisely a journey to America. For the second time. Already in 2001, I had been invited to give a talk about finding the soul in the States. And this time, 10 years later, I had been back, this time in both Americas, to speak about cellular consciousness, to give my workshop on that so new and wonderful topic. The people first in North America, and then also in South America, Argentina and Uruguay. And my return ticket was going reverse. Back from South America to North America, to France, to India. And on that plane, from America to France, I had caught a terrible flu, which was putting me down so much that I was hardly conscious during the few days I was in France, waiting for the day of my actual departure back to India. And I arrived in New Delhi in a kind of daze, very early in the morning. I found a taxi, having collected as well as I could my luggage. And it is a taxi driver who himself, under the shock of the news, told me, "Do you know? Have you heard already what happened in the United States? The two towers have been attacked and destroyed." And since then, I must say, I have had the feeling that it was some kind of disease that the Western world has somehow developed and which needed to be healed. We needed, as humanity, to find what had to be done to heal that disease, which came to such situations that we were under such an attack. from other countries in the world, which felt so grieved by our attitude towards them. Something like that. There was a terrible gap somewhere which had developed for many reasons, on many levels. And it kind of erupted on that day in that way. Yesterday, because of that, I was myself working hard, because for me it happens to be something difficult to do, all this work on internet with digital means. But I wanted really to have my latest video in French finally published with proper corrected subtitles to it. That would really enable at least the French-speaking people to start with, to understand fully what I meant. And my intent was also to non-speaking people whom I have met even recently, even in Auroville, or some who were living Auroville in one instance. And the same kind of misunderstandings, of antagonisms, of bitter feelings of having to justify oneself for the conclusions they had reached in their own spiritual life. And I had felt so much compassion, so much tenderness for all human beings who are still under the heaviness of suspicions and attacks and accusations because of their way to relate to the divine. I was feeling so much that as humanity, we have really to go beyond that. And so yesterday I finally managed to complete the subtitles properly. And that video is published again now with that better used subtitles. Now today, I'm happy to come with a new document to share with you. And that document is not from me. I will simply put the link of it in the description of this video, this present video, so that I can share it with you in that way. It is a document I received yesterday. The newsletter from a lady I know and respect and love, at least from my part, since very long, because of a book she has written long ago. I had my own near-death experience in 1975. And I discovered much later, when all my own research about that topic was going on, I discovered her book, Coming Back to Life. And it is a wonderful lady called Phyllis Atwater. And since then, she has become a very well-known and respected and appreciated and loved researcher in her own right. She has had in 1977 three, not one, but three near-death experiences, one after the other, within a month. And all of them were particularly interesting to me because they included, from her part in her experience, some discovery and acknowledgement of the consciousness of her own self in her own body. It doesn't seem that in her case, her cells have gone on like my ones did to even develop a relationship with the divine by themselves. But I believe she still has a wonderful relationship with her own self since then, and they are very much included somehow in her own life. She doesn't know about me much. I think I wrote to her once, but she must be receiving so much correspondence. So maybe one day she will discover me, perhaps through this video. Hello, Philly. Thank you for your work, your contribution to the world. Her specific contribution through that special document she sent yesterday is her testimony remarkable. She has medium type capacities, and she has been able to witness somehow in the other dimensions what was going on, not only during the attack on the two towers, but also in the days that followed, and even later on as the situation in the invisible to us reality kept progressing. A lot of meaning is there in what she reveals. So I hope many of you who are listening to me in this video will take the time not only to read, but to perhaps even reread this rather important document she has sent to me and to many other people on her mailing list regarding that event so important for humanity in our still recent times, still developing. I don't want to make it long today because I would like to keep your main interest for this document from her, which I want to share with you today. With my own wishes to humanity as a whole. From this Auroville, who has been founded in 1968, precisely as an experimental ground in which we all can learn how to better understand each other, accept each other, include each other, in our collective growth towards a more evolved destiny, which is there, waiting for all of us, for blooming as a species into the more peaceful, more enlightened, more loving development of the human species. Towards an ongoing transformation, towards that life divine here on earth, which is the promise I discovered all the way back in 1971 as a young teacher, and which led me here in Auroville in 72. And here I am still working at it in myself, along with the very cells of my body, who are doing it on their own in a magnificent way. We human beings are also the cells of the body of the divine as it is developing on earth to manifest the divine true magnificence. Let us start with peace on earth and with a feeling of safety. Know that regardless of our beliefs, as long as we don't try to impose those beliefs on others, let us make our own choices and change them as we find something better, which seems to us true. And let us allow others to make their own choices too, to the best of their abilities. In an atmosphere of mutual loving respect and support for everyone in their own journey, inner journey, towards what each of us has come here, whether they remember it or not yet, to manifest more and more, also in this physical world, so that this material world becomes a home of the divine truth. Goodbye. See you next time.